Hello, everyone. My God, I haven't been on this show in forever. I almost forgot how to call my name. Well, my name is Irene White, and I'm back. The lady with the pink lipstick is back, yo. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the prayers and everything. I'm so grateful, and I couldn't wait to be on the show with my colleagues and catch up and see what's been going on. I hear a lot of people have been traveling the world, doing all kinds of things. This is a time for us to catch up before we dive in into the main topic. So, hello, Irene White from Chicago. Priska?
Hi, everybody. Prescott from Baltimore, Maryland. It has been a while since the four of us have been together, and we're here in pink. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my pink, pinkish, all shades of pink. Yes, what has everybody been up to? I will pass the mic to Nelly to say hello.
Hello, Insaka family. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I don't know about where you are, but it's quite lovely in Texas.
It is. Here
And
too.
I have with me a very special lady here, and we will let you know more about her as the show goes on. But just we call her affectionately as Grandma Joan. So I have Grandma Joan with me here, and we'll talk more about why she's with us in the studio today. Winnie?
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all smiling on our faces. We are in pink today. Happy Sunday. It's beautiful outside, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have been up to.
Yeah.
It was a good summer.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a good summer. You guys, I moved.
Oh,
I love my place. I really love my place.
nice.
When we are done with the show, I'll show you a tour. I have French windows and I have a huge balcony
She's living large.
with a very nice umbrella. I put very nice flowers. So when I'm working on my table, looking outside, I feel like I'm in France, yo.
Oh, she is
Aw.
living large. Welcome back.
You have inspired me
yeah.
to redo my office now.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. I'm coming to redo your office. I can help you.
Yes, we need
Awesome.
to. And
Yeah.
I have a room that I want to turn into a reading room.
Mhm.
Oh,
That I
okay.
need help with, yes. As soon as you come in, I just want to turn into a reading room. Like, just make it very nice and cozy.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
Also, what have you ladies been up to? I know you guys have done a lot. I'm so sorry I didn't keep up because, I'm just going to do a disclaimer here. So I tell people it's very important for us to take a mental health break. And a mental health break shouldn't have a limit on time because
Mhm.
everybody is different how they process whatever challenges they are going through. So if you think your mental health break is 1 day or 2 days or whatever, if it's a year, like I took almost a year, it
Mhm.
helped me. So figure out what works for you and run with it. Um, I'm gonna go to Nelly. I know Nelly, you went to all the places that some of the places I've been, some places are like, I want to go there. She beat me to it. But you took us on that journey. It felt like we were with you.
I keep hearing that. Like even yesterday, we were mingling with the ladies here in the Dallas area, and I kept hearing that over and over. Like, you know what? We were on this trip vicariously with you. So I'm so glad I was able to take you guys along with me. So started off in Germany and then went to Salzburg, Austria. Salzburg, I noticed from the comments, Irene, you've been there,
Yeah,
so
been
you
there. Yeah.
know. Guys, if you watch The Sound of Music, like our family, we are big fan of The Sound of Music, especially around Christmas. Um, if you watch that movie, you will realize when you get to Salzburg that it looks exactly just like that.
oh,
Like the green rolling hills
Yeah.
and the snowy mountaintops and the cows grazing on the side. It's just so picturesque. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So from Salzburg we went to Venice, which is a city completely on water and concrete.
oh my
I
goodness.
mean, this was the engineering behind this is amazing. You won't find a patch of dirt. Everything is concrete and water. I don't know how
Wow.
they did it to get from one street to they have streets and little cobbled streets. But yeah, it's amazing. It's
I would be so scared.
No, you wouldn't, because it's not like, yeah, the water is there, they have the canals, right? But you have enough space to walk around and still,
So that's like the whole city.
the
It's
whole
just
city,
water.
the entire city. You
Is it close
go,
to the ocean, right?
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
I was
And
thinking maybe something would be
the
correct.
water park looks very, very narrow where you go with those little, whatever you
Mhm.
call them, it's a boat. I think
Yeah.
I'm with Priska, I'd freak out.
I love it.
it, it wasn't really, you are not feeling like you're completely surrounded by water. You still have like enough land, enough restaurants, and there's just so much going on that you don't really feel that way. Interestingly, when we were going by train from Salzburg to Venice, our train was delayed. There was something on the tracks that we stopped for about an hour. So that delayed the time we're supposed to get in. And apparently, when the tide is high, the train tracks, like, they have to close. So we couldn't get there.
Wow.
We couldn't get there by the international train. They're like, the tide is too high. This train has to stop here. You guys get out and then get on a local train.
Hey,
So
Oh
we had
wow.
to get out, change of plans. But yeah, anyway, enough. It's a lot. I think
And
the
then you
trip
and then you
is too
ended
much.
up in Zurich,
Yes.
my favorite city in the world.
when I grow up, I want to be like you, and I'll come along.
What about you, Winnie? What did you do exciting the past summer? What
So
did you
the
do
past summer,
exciting?
the only thing I did. I think on the beginning of summer, I was in Qatar. I was in Doha. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful over there.
Hmm.
Clean. I had a chance to wear the what do you call
The
this,
Habaya.
the abaya, and I wore it. I would say it. I wear it with grace, because when I was married to my ex-husband, he was Muslim. I would not even look at it. I was like, hell no, you're not gonna change my name to Maria or Mariam, and nah. I said no. So this time I was able to wear it just for like culture purposes, culture reasons, because we had to go for dinner, and then my in-law told me, like, it's good to just, like, you want to be part of it, you want to be inclusive. It would be nice for you to just wear it, and it's beautiful. The clothes are very nice, but it's very hot. The
Mm.
food that they have was just like unnatural, like everything. Chocolates. There was like so many chocolate places. It was just nice. Very place. I was like looking around. There's so many nice clothes there and shoes, but these women wear all these long gowns. When do they wear those shoes? I was asking those questions. When do you guys wear these shoes? But hey, who knows? I think they wear them when they travel. But it was beautiful. And summer, I spent time alone because both of my kids were not home. Apollo was by her dad's, and Rafiq was in Qatar and he went to Zambia. So I was just by myself. I really had a chance. I mean, I didn't do time out, but I had the chance to be alone and just reflect on myself and just like
Mhm.
kind of get to know who I am and what I want to do and what I want to just live for, because we're not perfect. We're always going to make mistakes, but how can you evolve from what you did, and how can you move forward? How about growth? So I kind of put all these things together. So that time I had this summer, I think, was the first and the longest time ever be alone with our kids, just me, myself alone. So I had a good time. I had a good summer.
All
Wonderful.
right. What about you, Priska? Before I tell you about Malaysia.
I just realized we can do an icebreaker question after this.
Okay.
I didn't do much. I took classes here and there. Interesting enough, I'm very interested in IT. That's something that I'm learning about myself. I went to visit a good friend of mine out of state. We had fun. We spent time together, me and her family. Other than that, I spent time with myself and I realized that I love my own company. I've become very socially awkward.
Mm.
Very. Like I love being by myself. I picked up reading again and just teaching myself things and just nothing much in the house.
All right. That's good. Though my trip to Malaysia, you know what, Winnie, what you're saying about the Habaya and the hijab? There were some places in Malaysia that I could not get in because I didn't have the hijab and just even the hijab, not even the habaya, just the hijab. I could not get in.
Really?
No,
Oh.
no, I could not get in. So I see why people go to these countries, and you see them wear like the habaya and the hijab just to fit in, and not people just looking at them wherever they are going. They're looking at them, and you kind of feel like, oh, eyes are on you. It's a Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's very awkward and uncomfortable. So we learned after 3 places that we went to that I need to get a habaya and hijab. So I did, but I never shared them because I just didn't want to offend somebody who's Muslim. Like I was just wearing those to mock them, but it was for a reason. And one of the things I enjoyed, so well, we went to Malaysia for work. So we were invited by the United Nations. As you know, I'm in social work, I'm in social service, so I work with a lot of refugees and immigrants. So the United Nations in Malaysia called us because we are trying to initiate this program that helps a lot of refugees and migrants and immigrants. So we went there and we ended up at the embassy of Zambia. You guys, I have never felt so proud of being Zambian.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, because the visit at the High Commissioner was accidental. So
Mhm.
I just kind of pushed things, and then I found, me from Lusaka on the street. I found somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Somehow we found ourselves at the High Commissioner. So when I was there, it was my bosses, three of my bosses, and me. And then they found out that Zambia is a very hospitable country for refugees. We
Oh,
harbor a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
refugees from around southern part of Africa,
it's been.
and some northern. Yeah, some northern. I think we've never hosted the western part of Africa, but the rest of the countries we have. So
We
my
did
boss,
Cameroon.
yeah, oh Cameroon,
Yeah,
yeah,
because I know my grandmother used to volunteer to go to refugee camps, and when I was young, we would take food and do stuff. She would work there, so
yeah.
we
So
did Cameroon.
that's good. So my bosses were so amazed when the immigration first secretary was explaining how the resettlement program works in Zambia. That when
mhm.
people come as refugees, we embrace them. We tell them you can settle here or you can resettle somewhere else. If they have want to resettle somewhere else, they have to go through the UNHCR to
Mhm.
take them to whatever various countries. And everybody was like, Irene, why didn't you tell us about this? I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't think about it like that because we came for something else. But it was an amazing trip. We had
Mhm.
so much fun. There was so much to see. I didn't have time to shop because it was every day was something different. And my learning lesson coming back was I appreciate my life now than ever because the things that I saw there, people what they're going through, like refugees and immigrants, it was just out of this world. Like, how do people actually live like this? But
Mhm.
we're trying to change the face of that 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 situation so that it could be better for the refugees. So it was nice. I really had a good time. I have some pictures that I'll share with you guys as we go, and then you see how much fun I had.
Awesome. I wanna go back to this comment here because I was actually thinking the same thing. I thought Malaysia was more liberal than that. I didn't realize they were so strictly Muslim,
Strict. I thought so
to
Well,
too.
where you can't even get into certain places. So it's great to learn. When you travel, you learn and your eyes get open to certain things. So yeah.
yeah, it is. I think it's liberal to some extent, but I
Mhm.
think there are certain places you cannot go if you're not wearing hijab. Like
Mhm.
there are iconic mosques. Like there's this mosque that's floating on the water.
Oh
You
wow.
want to go see it, but unfortunately, I didn't have the hijab, so I couldn't go in. You
Oh
know,
yeah, definitely a
yeah,
most.
things like
Yeah.
that.
Go
Yeah,
to a
but not
most.
eating places and public places. No.
Yeah.
And Malaysia has a lot of designer stores. A lot of almost all of them are there. But my money couldn't match the stores.
Soon, Erin, soon. Stay tuned, soon.
Asians love everything designer. They do. They love designer stuff.
Yes, yes,
Even here.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do. But it was an amazing trip. I wouldn't, because we're going back in May for the
Mhm.
men conference. So
Right.
if you guys make a lot of money, you can come with me, and then you can have a
No, you
platform
can
to
just
talk,
send. You
because
can
there'll
put
be
it.
a lot of people from around the world.
You can just put us in the suitcase, Erin. We're okay. We'll be right there.
I'll give you the whole thing so that you can look at it. You never know. Maybe one or two can decide to come along. You
Be
never
great.
know. Yeah. So that's what. Okay, so now that we are done with our personal stories, I hope you guys got a glimpse of what we did this summer.
Mhm.
I think all of us had fun. We can agree to that. So let's dive into our icebreaker question so we can now go into our main topic, which is an amazing topic.
I was wondering before we do that, can we take a short break and then come back, break the ice, and get into it?
I think
Yeah.
so. I need to drink water. Nalanda-san.
I think that'll be good. We can go to the commercial. Just give me a second, please.
All right.
I will show you how to get the best night of your life while
I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone. This is Dick Gello, Organization of Zambians Abroad President. See you in DMV for the Zambia Independence Celebration 60th. Sekisti.
Zambians in the diaspora celebrates Zambia's Diamond Jubilee. Get ready to celebrate Zambia's 60 years of independence. OZA, in conjunction with NZDMV, invites all Zambians abroad to take part in this historical celebration. Date, October 26, 2024. Venue, Hyatt Regency Hotel in Crystal City, 2799 Richmond Highway, Arlington, Virginia. This celebration brings us together as OZA to honor our rich culture, history, heritage, and achievements as we reach this significant milestone. Let's celebrate Zambia's journey, unity, and resilience together. Set the date.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. This is a New Soccer Talk Show. Happy Sunday, wherever you're watching us from. We have a very touching but amazing story that's going to empower a lot of women. But before we dive into that, we're going to go into the icebreaker question. Can we share that, please? Who's going to read that? I can't see it.
1 second. I think it was on the scroll.
All right. So
Yeah.
do you like getting advice from other people? If so, who do you go to? I'm gonna start with you, Nelly.
Why me?
Okay. Okay. It's very easy for me to skip. Today is a good day. It's my day. It's pink month. So I make the rules. All right, skip. We go to Priska. So you can marinate your answer.
You have selective days and months that you want to own your days in your month. Any other day you don't. Do I like to get advice from other people? It depends on what it is. If I'm coming to a person for business, I would rather go to somebody that I know that they have done a certain business and they're successful. I would get advice from somebody that I know that they're experienced. Where do I get my advice from? The same people. My husband is the first person to go to for advice, and pretty much with AI coming, AI has become my best friend. And whatever it is that I talk with AI stays between me and AI.
What about you, Winnie?
My mom. So I would actually go to my mom if I need an advice. So if I'm going through some stuff, my mom, because you know what, no matter what, she's my mom. With up, down, whatever way, she's my mom. And then, like Pritzker said, if I want advice into like business or nonprofit, I really ask people who are doing things so they can be able to help me well and then get the right answers that I need.
Okay. Now over to you, Miss Nelly. Have you marinated your answer now?
Yeah, actually, I'll also ask the same question since she's our guest today.
Yes.
So, Grandma John, do you like to get advice from other people? And if so, who would you go to for advice?
Very good for advice. Well, Nelly come like a daughter to me. She's my daughter-in-law. But I rather go to her for advice. So I'll tell her whatever it is. Nobody else.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah,
That's very nice.
thank you. Yeah, you know, advice is a gift. Advice is like feedback, right? So for me, feedback is a gift. I always seek advice, and like all of you have said, it has to be from somebody that knows, is a subject matter expert, so to speak, right? So different people, different advice, but also like Winnie, I do go to my mom for advice, my mother-in-law for advice. Yeah, and obviously some of you have sought advice from some of you from different things. So yeah. How
Okay.
about you, Irene?
Well, my sister, now I call her Auntie Rose. We all call her Auntie Rose.
Terrors.
But she's like my mother,
Yeah.
and I'm very selective on things that I go to advice for because she gets very emotional about things that are very um, challenging for her. She doesn't know how to process that. So I give her in bits so she doesn't get overwhelmed one time. But she's the one I run to all the time. I can tell her something small today and then tomorrow something, and then she'll put it together and say, "Oh, so you were talking about this yesterday. Is this what you meant?" I don't want to just throw everything at her, but she's my to go to person, and I trust the judgment that she gives me. And sometimes she'll tell me, "No, Apavana, okay, you made a mistake. You probably want to go back and apologize." But I found myself to be the one who gives a lot of advice. I give a lot of advice selflessly, and a lot of people trust me to come to me for so many things because I'm non-judgmental. And I've realized that I've impacted a lot of people because they keep coming, and I'm blessed with that.
And that's your gift. Like
Yeah.
with what you do and your personality, that goes with everything that you do.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
No, thank you.
That trustworthiness that people get attracted to and they want to confide in you. So yeah, the only thing I can say is, don't let when you're a very empathic person, sometimes the problems of other people can weigh you down. So you have to learn to, not get yourself tangled up while you're trying to help others. So Grandma Joan, love you and miss you, Maureen says. She put it
Okay.
for
That's
me.
good. You guys, we have Grandma Jones, like she was introduced earlier when we started. So we are going to ask Nelly to do the honors to reintroduce Grandma Jones again for those that were not here when she announced her name, so we know why she's here. She's about to tell us something amazing. So let's stay tuned, you guys, and listen.
All right. So as you all know, October is Breast Cancer Month. And if you look on the screen, you'll see we are all pinked out here. I'm wearing pink in solidarity of my mother-in-law, Grandma Joan. 10 years ago in May of 2014, I took her for a doctor's appointment, like any other doctor's appointment. And on that day, the doctor came in and said, we did a mammogram and wanted to discuss the results of the mammogram, it doesn't look good. So we need to do a biopsy. So they later went ahead and ran a biopsy, did further tests. They took some tissue and they found that they called us back in. I was with her again in that room, and uh, Grandma John can tell you what happened that day. Go ahead.
That day, the room, they had about 2 doctors and 3 nurses. And I was scared. I started to shake. I have diabetes, but now my feet were itching, itching. And I was telling them, why I have this itching? Nervous and itching, itching. Because I never feel like that. And I'm looking at the doctor and I'm looking at the nurse. And I said to myself, maybe something is not right. I started to feel. And then the doctor said, okay, Miss Taylor, we have some news we would like to tell you. I don't know how we'll take it. I said, I'll have to take it if it's good, if it's bad, I'll have to take it. And then they told me that I had no breast cancer, stage 2. They had them cut it in time. But while they couldn't see it, there was no underneath the armpit. And there's a veil covering it. And I started to cry. I bawled, she was dead. And I couldn't, because I was scared. You know, when you see you have breast cancer, I was scared and she was there to guide me and help me and do everything. Afterwards, the nurse talk, the doctor talk, and they said they would take the step from there, and then when they go call me and give me a date to come and do a lot of tests and all kind of stuff so I can do surgery. And for the time I left there, I was crying all the way. And I will never forget her. Like a daughter-in-law to me, she hold me, and I was so nervous and bawling, bawling, bawling. And I said to myself, oh, what is this? But since back home, when I was about 16 years old, all I used to feel both breasts, sometimes used to hurt me. And I used to wonder why. But when I go to the doctor, in those days, there is no mammogram and nothing. But the doctor would tell me, say, examine the breast. He said, there is something in this breast, and there is some in this breast. I said, what it is? If they're feeling like if it's a lump. Hey, man, are you serious? Just like that. So every month I had us go to do that until, because in those days, they didn't have nothing but mammogram. Then one time the doctor feel more in the right breast. He seems still, you're not looking good. This breast is, you have too much in this breast. All he told me, if you travel anywhere go, you have to do mammogram every year. Try and not to miss it. But in those days, we need, I don't have that for mammogram. So when I came up here to America, I started to do that. First, I was working. So when I was living in New York, I started to do mammogram every year. In New York, they couldn't see anything.
Wow.
It was covering. They were covering both breasts. You can't see. All the scene is this small lump in both breasts. And then you me, what is this going on in my life? Because I just come to America and try to work and make a living or something. And they do mammogram and they couldn't see anything. So I said, I will try going for mammogram. I'm going to stop because I can't see nothing. And one time the doctor called me back. It's still I have to do mammogram again because we've seen something in the right breast more. But we cannot see because there's a veil covering it. They can't see anything. I do all kind of tests. They couldn't see nothing, so I forget everything. Then when I moved to Texas, I retired from New York, from working, and come to stay with my daughter-in-law and my son. I started going back and do mammogram here. And I started doing mammogram in Texas. This one, there was no cyst, but this one had more cyst than anything else. And then they did it now, they sent me to
surgery.
Yeah. And they said, Miss Taylor, we see. I just go through a lot of tests and I was scared. I tell you, I cry. And I said, God help me, save me. Because I don't need to go right now. I need to see all my children go, grandchildren, I don't need to really. Yeah. But God answered my prayers. And then when I have to take the surgical stage 2.
But so I wanted to just stop right there and talk about the importance of early detection, right? So because she was going for mammograms, they were able to see that there's something here. They were able to find the lump, and because it was stage 2, they went ahead and did the surgery, and it was a mastectomy. So the breast was removed in order to save her life. And now, after that, she spent some time in the hospital. And can you talk about your recovery?
Yeah. For my recovery at home, I did the surgery the Friday,
Mhm.
and the Saturday, the I was out because I was okay and stuff.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I had pain, but I was okay. The doctor said I had to walk first, make sure I could walk before they send me out. And two nurses come to hold me to make me walk a good way from all the way, hospital is big and I have to walk it to see that if I'm strong enough to go. And I did it very good, backward and. Only problem I had, I couldn't go to the bathroom.
Mm.
I couldn't urinate, nothing like that. Drinking water, but I couldn't. So they have to open, or when I go to the bathroom, the nurse have to open the bath. So to see, and I was still wasn't urine, wasn't passing no urine. And the nurse was getting scared, and I think she called the doctor and went back to the room, come and feel and see for everything. And when I went back the fifth time to the bathroom, they opened the pipe, I started to urinate.
Yeah, and then the other thing that also helped her with the recovery, so she had to do chemotherapy as well as radiation. And the other thing that helped is the diet also.
Yeah,
Right?
that.
Yeah, we used
Yeah.
to make for her like a smoothie of beets and spinach, fresh spinach, beets, apples, and we blend that together and make sure she drinks that every day to help build up her immunity, and also just some light soups and stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't really have a big problem with like throwing up and not
No,
being
I
able.
didn't have no problem with throwing up or
Mhm.
I could have able to stand up and walk because when I start to do the chemo,
Mhm.
you have to have this what you call it stuff on all it.
Mhm.
Right. So I able to walk, go to the bathroom,
Mhm.
and the doctor was telling the nurse, please help me still because I'm afraid she's gonna fall.
Mhm.
I said, no, I'm not gonna fall. So this time I go to the bathroom and come back out. And the doctor said, Miss Taylor,
Mhm.
in all the patients we have in here, you're the first one we ever see could get up and hold, walk and go to the bathroom and come back. And I was doing that all the time when I go for chemo.
That
They said,
is
don't have strong like that in your family. And I said, my grandmother, she died at 106 years old,
Yeah.
my grandmother. So they said, there you got it, strong is strong.
Yeah. So, we just wanted to share, like we said in the beginning, October is Breast Cancer Month. There are so many people going through this. 10 years. She's a survivor. 10 years ago, she was cleared and, she's been living a clean life. And we just want to give hope out there. Let's say maybe you just found out you had breast cancer. There is hope. You can fight this thing
Yeah.
and you can survive. Um, and of course, everybody's journey is different, and how your body reacts to chemotherapy and radiation is going to be different. But the most important thing is to have those close relations and people that love and care for you around you to help you through this journey.
Yeah.
And
uh,
with the radiation, like when I go to do the radiation, after when I come out and finish with the radiation, it's like I need to sleep because no, you're sleepy and your body gets weak. I can't get up and then she'll come and put a straw in the glass and I would lie there like this and kind of pull in slowly, slowly. I couldn't remember. She did a lot of things for me. Besides her daughter, like a daughter to me, all what she did, I didn't have no kids, nobody wrong. It was only Tony and her, but she did more than him because she was everything.
That's
I just want to
beautiful.
say, I just want to say something that when you were talking, Grandma Jones, thank you that God saved you and you're here, and that I just want to say thank you to Nelly being a great daughter-in-law because she's mentioned you more than a million times. It's not
Yeah,
easy. It's not easy. With the demand, because when you're a mother, you have a mother-in-law and the father. That's the son. That's your husband, mother, and you embrace her like this, and she holds you the same. And your strength gave her the strength to survive through it, because when you are sick you need the support system that's stronger than you. So I just want to say thank you. In your household, you guys, you were strong for her and we are grateful. Today we're talking to
Amen.
Grandma John.
so with me, Grandma Jones, thank you so much for sharing your story.
yeah,
It's very uplifting, and I love that you said your story because it's totally different from mine, but it's almost the same. So
yeah,
this is to say, people that are diagnosed with breast cancer, when you hear somebody's story of success and recovery, Don't tell yourself I'm going to be that person. Fight
Yeah.
the battle, your way, according to what the doctors tells you, like these are your strengths, these are your challenges. Because like say for example, Grandma Jones did not throw up at all.
Mm,
I threw up the whole time.
mm,
So I threw up the whole time. And then my chemo was very aggressive. They had to stop it
mm,
because it made me sick. They had to stop it and then start again. So I
mm,
did chemo, I did radiation, I did, of course, the surgery and all that, all the nine yard. But there's always something similar, and there's always something different from every situation. But this is to say the most common things that I heard about Grandma Jones is diet. I
yeah.
changed my diet as well,
Mhm,
and I was very positive. I was very positive. I did not, every time people came to see me, I was sitting up. Even if I could not sit up, I would sit up and chat with them. And then I'll lay down when they're gone. Because I
mm,
didn't want a pity party. I don't want people to come and start, can I rub your feet or whatever. No, I wanted to just stay strong. And that gave me the strength to fight. So
yeah.
one of the things I did anytime I left the house, when I reached the door, before I reached the doorknob, I prayed.
Mhm,
I prayed before I touched the doorknob. And every time I came in, before I touched the doorknob, I prayed again because I
mm,
knew that I went to seek and I was given the information that I needed. It was my job to
mm,
now use that information to my discretion so I could survive. And this
mm,
is why I'm a very big advocate of breast cancer, because I know that I survived because I did so many changes. It's
Mm.
not like I'm special or anything. It's not like Grandma Jones is special or anything. She had the she had the will to fight it. She wanted to see her grandkids. She wanted to see them grow. And then with the help of Nelly, of course, you had that willpower to say, you know what, if I have all these people around me, I don't
mm.
want to disappoint them. So you kept on moving and moving and pushing and pushing. So anybody that's being diagnosed right now, if you want a support system, call somebody who's gone through it.
Mm,
Let them be your mentor. They'll tell you some things that you don't know because you're scared, you are
mhm,
confused, you're upset. There's so many things that go through your emotions. But find somebody who survived. They don't have to be somebody you
mhm.
know, and then talk to them and tell them these are my challenges. And you never know, it will just go away
Yeah.
like, yeah, it just go away like that. We need to support each other.
Yeah, I wanted us, thank you so much for sharing, Irene. I wanted us to also, talk to our Insaka family that is engaging with us right now. So, Vicky's Beauty and Braid says, "Hi, Nelly, Irene, Winnie, and Priska, beautiful ladies.
Hey,
They're great to
Vicky.
talk
Thank
to.
you.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Vicky."
Vicky.
And then mom says, yes, the side effects of chemo is anemia. So diet, the boost blood is highly recommended.
Yep.
Okay, diet that boosts blood is highly recommended, I think is what she's trying to
Hmm.
say. So congratulations, Miss John, for being a cancer survivor. And she says, I'll remember to wear pink at work this month. Vicky says, we thank God for your life. And she says she was agreeing with you when you were talking about taking the journey through your own experience because everybody's
Hmm.
experience is different. And then Liz Melanin Queen says, good to see you all ladies. Hey Liz,
Please.
Hey,
thanks for
Liz.
tuning
Hey,
in.
Les.
Yeah. And Vicky says very encouraging, Irene. So we appreciate you guys. We love your comments. We do this for you guys. So anytime we hear from you, we appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe our page, and yeah, and follow the Insaka Talk Show. Priska.
I wanted to say something. Irene, thank you for sharing your story as well as Grandma Jones. As a person that works in oncology for over a decade, 15 years going on 20 years, everybody's story is different. I was involved in when a patient is newly diagnosed. We sit with the physician, we'll work out the treatment plan, what chemo are they on, to the insurance company, are you paying for this? What are you paying when the patient is doing the treatment? If the treatment is not working, then this clinical trial and the radiation. But right now, I just do radiation. And I myself, reading people's clinical notes, it was very, everybody's story is different, but it's very scary as a woman. So, was it last year I went for my mammogram because I know what is a process and what steps they take. And my mammogram was abnormal. And I was so scared because in my mind, I was just like, how many stories, how many clinical notes have I read that I know that their mammograms are abnormal? And for me, I lost weight. So, in the 3D, the one that they've introduced now, the 3D mammogram screening that they do. So I stayed, I think 3 months, Nelly, over
Yeah.
3 months. I didn't want to find out. I didn't want to know until
Mhm.
my doctor called me and said, Priska, you being a child, you do this for a living, just go and find out. And going to find out, sitting in there, I went to advanced radiology, which was a horrible, horrible experience. The way they do their stuff, first of all, if I didn't know and understand how my insurance works, and
Mhm.
for real, I had cancer, I would have just gone home and not knowing what to do next because advanced radiology failed me. And I
Mhm.
want to encourage women that are going for their mammogram that have insurances, call your insurance, find out what is it that is covered, what
Mhm.
can the insurance pay for before you go there, because 85% the front desk, they don't even know what they're doing and they don't even care. For me, I was just so mad because I don't know if I have cancer or I don't. And I
Mhm.
am coming here. She was just like, well, I don't care, until I went to the back. I spoke to somebody. She told me I had a copay of $400, which I did not have. And I
So,
said,
so
no.
back up a little bit for those that don't know.
Okay.
I know the story,
Right.
right? So it's making sense to me. But for somebody just hearing this, walk us through when you were told, "Hey, you have an abnormal
Mammogram.
mammogram. Now you need to take further steps and do ABC." So now walk us from that point. What happened?
So I
And
scheduled an appointment with, so my insurance covered, my insurance is Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I have to go to advanced radiology.
Mhm.
I scheduled an appointment. They scheduled it wrong. There's a name for it. I don't know, Irene, if you know. The second repeat. The first one is a mammogram. The second one is, I forgot the name, but it's a screening something. They scheduled it wrong. And I
Mhm.
went to advanced radiology in Timonium. Sorry, my throat is dry. In Timonium, horrible experience in Maryland. So I got there and I told her that I have an appointment.
Mhm.
She just looked at me and was like, you have to pay $400. And I said, no, I don't. I have insurance.
Mhm.
Well, we're not going to see you then. And I was like, miss, I have insurance and I know that I don't have a copay. You need to call your insurance then.
Mhm.
In
What?
front of people, I called my insurance and I put on speaker, said, just give me a reference number or something. So I know that the front desk's job is, before a patient comes in, you verify the insurance, right?
Right.
That is your job for you to do, not my job to do.
Mhm.
I don't want to be calling the insurance company if I don't even know if I have cancer or I don't have cancer. Then I
Mhm.
went to the back. At least three people were in front of that front desk and were arguing with her about the same thing.
Wow.
If I, and I was so mad, I just wanted to go away. But thank God, whatever it is that I had was not cancerous. But if I had cancer and I was just like, I'll
Yeah.
just go back and go
Treat it
away,
that
the
way.
cancer will be growing and growing and growing.
Mm,
So be persistent. If you go to see your doctor and somebody's telling you otherwise, just be persistent and find out exactly what it is.
mm,
It's
Yeah.
very sad that people that work in such kind of environment are not trained to be empathetic,
Empathetic, yes.
because
mhm,
when people walk in there with confusion of do I have or I don't, and sometimes the doctor will just call you to say you have to redo your mammogram.
mm,
Doesn't mean anything. But in your mind, why do they have to do the mammogram again, which means I have cancer? So you're going there with that fear.
Yeah.
And then
mm,
the first thing you want to do is a very good reception by people that work there. They have to make you feel like, you're in the right place, you're going to
yeah.
get the right information. But if they give you an attitude before you even go in to get your results, they've already spoiled your day. So
Yeah.
maybe some of these facilities, they should train these people to be empathetic to
Yeah.
people. And if I'm asking 700 questions, because I'm asking 700 questions because I'm confused, there is nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong or right.
Oh, I
You're
Just
right.
learned with the lecture. I
Yeah, I was
lectured
gonna say
her.
empathy. Sorry, I was going to say empathy should be a number one qualifier to work in certain
absolutely,
places. You can't
absolutely.
have somebody who is cold, no feelings, and talking to people any kind of way.
Nelly,
It's
I
a
almost
very
changed my
sensitive.
oncologist. My
Mm,
oncologist, the first
mhm,
time I
mm,
was, like, Grandma John said, you went in the doctor's office. They called me to say you should come in. I went in there. I was sitting down, and then he comes in. He's
mm,
standing there by the door, I have a plague.
mm,
He's standing there talking to me, like, Miss Irene. I said, yeah. White, yes. You're here because you have cancer.
mm,
Ah,
Like, first and foremost, be a little nice about how you announce it, Yes. And then I said, yeah,
eh,
I was told. And then, oh, you have stage 3, and we're gonna do radiation, chemo, and stuff. I just want to warn you, some of the chemo is why people die. Oh my
Oh
God,
my
I could not take.
gosh.
Oh yes, I could not take it anymore. I just said, you know what? I just said, give me a minute. He left. I cried. I was confused. I'm like, why is this man telling me all these things? But anyway, fast forward, I called a friend of mine who had gone through the cancer thing before. She gave me like a list of things to ask him when he comes. I said, I'm not even talking to this fool. I just called my doctor and like, could you change me and give me another oncologist? Then she broke the news. She said, no, this clinic is it's UIC. I don't know if you guys know UIC, but they have like a section of the cancer center where they have like two surgical doctors, and each
mm,
doctor has its own oncology because they work like these two work together, these two work together. So she was like, if I give you the other oncologist,
That
you
means
have to go to the other surgeon. And me, I like my surgeon. I was like, so I'm stuck with this guy who has no bedside manners. He
yeah.
actually told me, right, I'm gonna die.
that's crazy.
So
You know, I
I
think
fought it for a long time. But anyway, she told me that I've worked with him for 17 years. For the first 7 years, I did
Mm,
not talk to him because of the same complaints. But I took time one day to read about his bio and the success stories. Then I realized he's just a very lousy man who has no bedside manners. That's how I started working with him. And that's what I gave him a chance. I read about him and I saw that he was doing the right thing. I was like, so
before you even finish, Erin, maybe I'm
I'm
just saying
done.
I don't know him. Maybe I think he wanted. I mean, I think he doesn't have manners or no empathy, but maybe he didn't want it to come in and be sympathizing because he knows the situation is as bad as it is. So he didn't want to come and say, "Oh, Miss Irene." So he wanted to like, because even I'm sure Priska works over here. I'm sure you feel sorry. I'm sure you feel sad to even break up this news. So I think they have to have this persona of like being strong.
no,
Say
they don't.
No,
They don't.
even
And
in
you know how
hospitals,
many
even in,
times
yes,
that
go ahead.
even like with people that I know, right? Of course, I'm reading the medical records. I know when you come in, especially when I used to volunteer. I know when you're coming in. I know what your prognosis is, and I cannot even say anything. And then doctors will sit down with the counselor first and say, you know
mhm,
what, because the cancer has progressed, the chemo is not working, we're now
mm,
going to ask her if she can do a clinical trial. They always go in with a counselor and have somebody to talk to you for. They just don't come, especially when it's bad.
or in
Yes,
So
Auckland.
that one is just an
it's just I don't want to say it on TV, but anyways, just for us not to forget to say this, I wanted to put it out there. You guys, risk. Who's at risk? Because I wanted to share this. This is
Yeah,
very important. Who's at risk?
yeah. In closing, please.
Yeah, for a very long time, people, we all, I mean, we talked about this with Priska for some
Mhm,
time. At risk was 40 and above. But
mhm,
now, cancer is attacking even breast cancer, people who are 20 something, 30 something, 40 something. So to me, who's at risk? If you're a woman, you're at risk. So you have to dig into
Men too. Men
yeah,
have breast
men too.
cancer.
So you have to dig into your family history to see if somebody died of something that's similar to cancer. If
Mm.
you don't know, you still go and tell your doctor, this is how my mother died or my
Mm.
auntie died. And just there's nothing wrong to do a yearly mammogram. It doesn't hurt. Because you're
Mm.
30 doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Just take it upon yourself. Don't sit on a time bomb.
Irene, to go any further, they should also do a genetic testing.
Yeah.
A genetic testing if you're younger, you have a history of breast cancer or cancer
Yeah.
in your family. Request for your doctor, your PCP, for to give you a referral to do a genetic testing. If you
Mm.
now do a genetic testing, depending on what the tests are, you can do a mammogram if you're below 40.
Yeah.
Let me tell
I
you.
did.
Oh, sorry, Grandma
Did-
John wants to say something. Go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
In both sides of my family,
Mm.
by my father's side,
Mhm.
cancer patient. And mostly all of them, they died. My aunt and my father and my uncles, by my father's side, from cancer. And by my
See?
mother's side, so my mother died from cancer, my aunt died from cancer, but my grandmother no. So you see,
Okay.
on both sides.
Yeah.
So you see, Grandma Jones, I did a gene test and
Mm.
mine came out negative. So all females in my family are safe.
Mm.
So I probably just I don't know how I got it, but
flu-
my female family, at least I had to do that so that they could feel comfortable and safe.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I'm one out of a million. So it doesn't mean that because I'm safe, even you shouldn't tell your family members to go and do their mammogram. It's
Mm.
very, very important. If you're a woman, you are at risk.
Okay, thank you so much, Irene. So yeah, in closing, I'm glad you prefixed with that. You know, so check if you're a female, get yourself checked. A female who is of reproductive age, or even post reproductive, like Grandma Jones, she had it in her 60s, right? Um, you're still at risk. So that's the reason why we do mammograms every year. Also, according to the title of this topic, check your boobs. You know, from time to time, if you're in the shower, get into the habit of
Yeah,
always checking your breasts for lumps. If you have a partner, sometimes husbands have been instrumental in helping actually
yeah,
find lumps. So your partner can help you also check for those lumps. Um, Make sure that you are getting yourself educated about what breast cancer is, and women of color like ourselves are actually more prone to breast cancer than other races. So again, if
absolutely.
you're a woman and if you're a black woman, you are especially at risk
At
of
risk,
getting
yeah.
breast cancer. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna read our last comments before we go. But you guys, this whole month is breast cancer month. So look out on our page. We're gonna be sharing things, ideas, and some very important notes for you to take because maybe we missed one or two important things. We're gonna share it on our page.
Yeah.
So Vicky said, yes, Irene, the way Priska was attended to shows that she was not well attended to. And that itself can affect someone's mental being because someone is already disturbed with different kinds of thoughts. You're right, Vicky. It's
Mhm.
important to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
This will make us treat people in the way we would want them to treat us.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's very nice, Vicky. Thank you so much. Anyways, first before we I say goodbyes, I wanted to say thank you to Grandma Jones for taking
Mhm.
your time. I know you went to church.
Yeah.
You're probably hungry. You want to
Yeah,
eat.
Oh, she's
yeah.
got it.
Uh,
She didn't
so,
eat.
I didn't eat. We had some cake
okay.
in church.
Oh
But I
my
wish you
goodness.
all a blessed week
Thank you.
and enjoy yourself. But all time,
Oh,
take care of yourself. God
Mhm.
Thank you,
will
Grandma Jones. We
always be
thank
love
you
you.
so
you.
much.
God will be with you.
Thank
Love you
you.
all.
We
We
love
love
you.
you too.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Before she leave, I think before we leave, when we say the last remarks, I can play the video for Mary J. Blige. I think it is.
Yeah, so we wanted to share just this is to show that even celebrities have challenges in this path. So it shouldn't be just like us commoners. If we're and Irene White, there are some more celebrities who've gone through this, and this video will tell you that black women should pay attention to their bodies, because like breast cancer is more affected by black. So please play the video so we can share little pointers.
I don't know, Biggie says, so I'm gonna just try to remove us on the background if it's okay.
That's fine.
Aunts, not an aunt, but several family members to breast cancer, grandmother to cervical cancer, lung cancer, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on every time I look around. Before we even knew they were sick, because the practice of not wanting other people in our business and keeping these topics to ourselves is so deeply rooted into our culture. It wasn't until many years later that I learned that being proactive about our health is not something we should keep to ourselves. That's why I've dedicated a great deal of my time to increasing awareness of the importance of preventative screenings, reminding people that their health is their wealth, and urging them to make it a priority. It's not always easy, we all know that. Time is a huge barrier for all women. There are also a lot of misconceptions about mammograms. And for Black women, many fear a cancer diagnosis and becoming a burden to the family if diagnosed. And while the screening rate for Black women and white women are comparable, Black women are more likely to be screened at lower resource facilities and also experience longer intervals between detection, diagnosis, and treatment. That's why milestones like Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the work you all are doing here over the next few days is so important. I'm convinced that if all my aunts, my godmother, my grandparents would see, would have the opportunity to see a campaign like the ones on which I partnered with the Black Women's Health Imperative that directed them to go for information, they would have a different outcome today.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So there you go, guys. You see, this could affect anyone. I think it's very imperative for all of us to just do. I think I said mammogram, yearly mammogram, and Priska corrected me, and I think that's the best correction. You should do a full checkup every year, because through that they'll find some other things that you need to take care of. It doesn't matter whether your interest is mammogram because you're worried about breast cancer, but if you go for a full check, they'll find other things that you didn't even know you had. So we should just make it a must to do that.
I want us to read this comment here. Amos is a dear friend. Actually, my family and I were at his home. He recently migrated to the U.S. He and his family, and they live in Arlington right here. So they had a little housewarming yesterday. And he writes, very important topic. My mother died of breast cancer, and we only discovered it late and more advanced, and we just had to wait for her to pass.
We're so sorry about the loss.
I'm so sorry, Amos.
Yeah.
Again, not really having the right kind of information for Black women, is the reason why we keep losing people. But it doesn't have to be this way. We need to spread the word, even, in our own small way. Each one of us can help save the life. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for your support, my brother. Yeah.
All right, thank you. We've come to the end of the show. I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the people that were watching, the comments. We really needed to hear from you. And for my colleagues here, thank you for supporting Breast Cancer Month and everybody that's going through this challenge. It is a challenge for all. Hold their hand and tell them it's going to be okay. I think just that little gesture goes a long way. With that, look out for other information that we're going to share on our page pertaining to breast cancer as we go. Please pay attention. Those things that we're going to be sharing are very important to you. maybe to your neighbor, maybe to your sister. But it's been good. Happy Sunday, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Mhm.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Thank you.